Hello everybody, my name is Nerf Sniper, and I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Break Room Builds. So today we are going to be building a Mega Construx Hot Wheels crossover twin mill. I love that Hot Wheels has a license with Mega Construx now because there's a couple of good things that this gives us other than just the cool fun builds. Hot Wheels themselves does a line called Ride-Ons. And here is an example today of a new Hot Wheels ride-on car. And these cars are compatible with figures like the ones that you see in the picture. Now you can't buy these figures individually. They do have figures like these that certain ones come with ride-on cars. There was a shopping cart ride-on car back in 2018 or 19 that came with one, but it was a solid static figure, single mold plastic build that was in a standing position with his arms out in front of him, so he wouldn't be able to sit down in a seat like this, unfortunately. So the only way to get a fully molded, articulating one of these figures is to get one. He comes in any of the Mega Construx builds. So him being with the twin mill is going to be great because not only am I going to be able to build a Lego twin mill, but also use the figure that comes with it in all of the Ride-On series cars, which have been going back for a while now. So I'm really excited about that. So without further ado, what we're going to do is we are going to build us a twin mill. Alrighty, so this doesn't look like it's a very complicated set. I didn't even read how many pieces it has on it. And they don't make it super obvious like they do with Legos. Oh, 111 pieces. There we go. Alrighty. I never understood the full reason behind why Mega Bloks rebranded themselves Mega Construx. I'm wondering if it was a licensing thing, like maybe they lost their copyright on their original name or something like that, and had to switch it over so that they could continue copyrighting their licensed product or something like that. I'm not sure what the exact story is there, but I kind of like the name Mega Bloks better than Mega Construx, to be honest. It's Mega Construx just doesn't feel like it's rolling off the tongue as well, in my opinion. Alrighty, so we've got ourselves all these pieces here. Looks pretty simple and straightforward, so right off the bat we start with our base plate, and we are going to grab these little guys. I'm starting to get used to this. I really like I like doing break room builds now. They are a fun little thing to do for this channel. Something to do on during my day, and something to look forward to posting as well. It's just a fun thing. Alrighty, so we're starting off building the frame of this car, which is also the twin mill is actually my favorite Hot Wheels car. They've made a couple of different versions of it over the years, and it's one of like the oldest styles of original self-branded Hot Wheels concept cars that came out in like the Red Lines series back in like the 1960s and stuff. Hey Heather, I am building a Lego set. Yeah.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So yeah, I'm loving this. The twin mill, I remember I've had a twin mill in the form of a regular diecast Hot Wheels car since I was a little kid, because they've been around since goodness knows when. And, well, I know when, roughly 1968 to the present day. Yeah, it's a great car. They've made a few different versions of it. It's very well known for having like those two engines, blowers that come out of the top of the hood. And they've done a couple of different versions of it, like the Twin Mill V1, V2, and V3 all kind of have the same classic idea to them, but like slightly different shapes to their body style and stuff like that. The Twin Mill Gen E, I think they did, was one where it's supposed to be an electric version, so it doesn't have an internal combustion engine. Instead, and because it doesn't have an internal combustion engine, it actually doesn't have those dual engines coming out of the hood. It's just the body style, and it's supposed to be an electric version of the Twin Mill. So I didn't like that one as much. I picked it up anyways because I have to have at least one copy of every version of the Twin Mill that they put on the market, including things like the tuned Twin Mill or the hard-nosed Twin Mill, stuff like that. So they do a lot of different things. There's the hard-nosed line was an interesting line that came out in like the early 2000s, where they basically just made it so that they took a lot of their popular mainline cars and they would make the nose of the car, the front end of the car, just like huge. The tires in the front would usually be about like twice as big as the rear tires. And because of that, they would kind of manipulate the structure of the body style of the car so that it would, fit those new wheels in it. So every single one of these hard noses just had like a really big, bulky front end, and then usually the back end was relatively the same as the original car that it was based off of. So I loved finding, I actually only got a hard-nosed Twin Mill earlier this year, even though they came out in like 2004 or 2006 or something like that. And I was really happy to find it. They didn't make a ton of those. I mean, they made a ton of them, but they didn't make them very many times. A lot of Hot Wheels cars, if it does successful in sales and is popular enough, they'll just print it forever, which is great. Like there are a lot of cars that I have bought multiple different versions of because of the different color schemes. Every single time that they bring out a repeat car, they always like redo the color schemes, or they'll put it into a specialty pack or an anniversary pack with like, whatever. Sometimes they redo main lines as premium cars with the real rider tires. You always got to love that kind of stuff. I'm always looking out for that. So if I could ever, it's hard to find a Twin Mill with real rider tires. They do it a lot more often to things like the Bone Shaker, which is one that a lot of people would know from like Rocket League and stuff like that. So it's interesting to see how they're somewhat selective with the cars that they decide to do other stuff with, like bringing them into their corollary lines and stuff like that. So it's fun. It's fun to pay attention to that stuff. But yeah, the Twin Mill, always been one of my favorite cars to play with and to collect ever since I was a little kid. So yeah, I've got I think it was 2017, I want to say, they did the treasure hunt. It was a mainline, just a regular treasure hunt version of the Twin Mill, and it was like gold, and it was really cool. I loved searching for that treasure hunt. I do have one of those, both in and out of the package. But one thing that I noticed about the Twin Mill as like time went on was that back in the day, the engines that were molded in metal, and they would be, like molded in metal, die cast, both the engine and the chassis of the car. Now, that's something that Hot Wheels has kind of stopped doing as consistently, for sure, which is too bad, because it's it was one of their best things was that they could they had nice die-cast cars. A lot of their classic cars, as they get reprinted nowadays, are reprinted in plastic, and then they just chrome the plastic. There are still a good amount of cars that will have the insides, basically, like the inner workings of the car will be made out of plastic, and then the exterior, just the chassis of the car, will be still casted in metal. But even then, sometimes you don't even see that. Sometimes Hot Wheels is pushing out their mainline cars as just fully plastic cars, which is, that bites. It bites a little bit, But, hey, what can you do? Anyways, we're getting towards the end of this build here, it would seem. But, oh, I used the wrong fender over here. It looks like there's actually two different. They have a flat fender and then a stepping fender right there. So the front ones here, or what I'm assuming to be the front ones here. Well, yeah, they are definitely the front ones because that's where the steering wheel is. Are the stepping ones, and I had thrown the wrong one in there, but you know, whatever. Now I'm looking at grabbing these guys, and those will pop back there. No, it's this one. Yeah. So I'm really excited to be building this this set because, you know, I always try and have every version of the twin mill that I can get my hands on, and now that I have a Lego one, it's kind of just even better. Even, you know, I refer to all of these brick building companies as Lego. I know that, you know, they're obviously not Lego if it's Mega Construx, but it's the same thing. Let's not lie to ourselves. Yep. Alrighty. So I guess that this one, even though the packaging does call it just the twin mill, it looks, the body style of it looks like it is actually more loosely based off of the twin mill Gen 3 rather than the original twin mill Gen 1 from the Red Line series. Now that's just my opinion from the way that the mold looks, like, and the way that it's not really a mold, but the way that this build looks like as I'm building it. It definitely feels a little bit more like the twin mill Gen 3, and the only reason why I really say that is because the main difference between I'd say that the Gen 3 and the Gen 1 for the twin mill were the most similar looking body styles. The other ones did kind of noticeably differ a little bit more than those two variants, and honestly, the big difference is that the first twin mill looks like a classic car that was designed in the 60s, and then the twin mill Gen 3 looks like as if the same manufacturer had gone and decided that they were going to rebrand the same vehicle with a new body style 20 or 40 years later. You know what I mean? So when you think of it, like, imagine like a Mustang in the 60s as opposed to a Mustang from this year. You can obviously see that one of them is kind of more boxy while the other one is more like round. It has that futuristic kind of car look to it. So the Gen 3 for the twin mill follows that follows suit with that pretty regular industry standard for cars, where the new one just looks freaking new. So looks, you know, slightly more aerodynamic or almost like robotic in style, if you catch my drift. But yeah, this is definitely given me more of a twin mill 3 vibe than a twin mill 1 vibe. And of course, like, you know, if you were to look up the difference between the different twin mills, it is more noticeable when you're looking at the die-cast versions than if you're looking at, you know, like a Lego build like this one. Alrighty. I'm getting there. We're almost done here. Oh, I'm putting these on the wrong side. That's probably bad. Yeah, this is supposed to go there. I'm all turned around now. And then this bad boy goes on the back. We're getting there. This I've been having a tug of war with this instruction booklet. It keeps trying to close itself on me. All right. I feel like I'm getting relatively close here. Like it's really coming together now. not a ton of pieces left on the table here, and you can really start seeing the shape of the car come into fruition, you know. Here we go, so those go here, and now we're building those big old engine blocks. Oh yeah, here we are. Big, huge air intake things. Yeah. Look at that. Now it's really starting to scream twin mill. I wonder if they are ever going to make a convertible version of the twin mill. Honestly, it wouldn't look good, in my opinion, like if you just don't put the top on it. No, not really my style. Interesting that I wonder if somebody's made a concept image of that yet, because it's an interesting idea. I don't like the idea of it that much, but it's an interesting idea. Make it convert, yeah, like just a drop top twin mill. Weird. I imagine that's why it's not a thing yet, is because even if they did draw it up, it probably doesn't look that great, and they were probably just like, you know what, let's not do that. Let's not. Alrighty, we're getting so close here. I'm adding the rear view mirrors right now, which is funny. I don't know if any of the twin mill molds for the Hot Wheels 1/64 scale diecast actually have any. If they have rear view mirrors at all. Alrighty, so now we're popping these guys down here to make those exhaust pieces. That'll pop in there. Get one more over here. Pop that windshield on. Come on. The windshield's fighting me. Oh my gosh, windshield. Get on the car. You were made for this. Literally. There we go. Now we're going to finish off our exhaust tips. And one thing that I've just noticed is that it looks like I have placed this one piece incorrectly, it looks like. There's no way that that's supposed to be like that. But at the same time, like, where is it supposed to be instead? Okay, so I just got to move that forward one stud. Beautiful. And now we pop the wheels on. There you go. And so there's our convertible twin mill for now. There's our mock-up for the convertible twin mill. And last but not least, we cap it off, and we've got ourselves a completed Hot Wheels Twin Mill Mega Construx set. I really do love that. I really do. It's a great set. This cost $15, and yeah, it's a good set. I really do enjoy it. Beautiful. Favorite car right there. Now, before we go, I do have the minifigure that's supposed to go with this, and we are going to pair him up real quick with this new ride-on car from the main line from Hot Wheels. So one cool thing about this ride-on car is that rather than molding it a regular seat, what they've done is they've put two studs in there so that you can put a Lego minifigure into this, which is not something that you see in the rest of the ride-on series. In fact, there are other ride-on cars in this set of mainline cars that don't have that. This is not a regular thing, so that's really cool. It's cool to be able to put any Lego minifigure securely into that seat now. It's fantastic. But what we're going to do today is we are going to test it out with our Mega Construx figure, who was really honestly made for this. Like, this is what he was meant to do, is to go into these cars. So right off the bat, it is amazing. He is scaled perfectly. Now, if you look at him, he is actually scaled smaller than a regular Mega Construx figure for the rest of their sets that they do, because he is scaled specifically for the Hot Wheels ride-on cars so that he can fit in there perfectly. That is awesome. I think that they did a really good job with this set. And yeah, anyways, my name's Nerf Sniper. Thank you guys for joining us in another Break Room Builds episode. I hope that you enjoyed this episode and that you will join us for the next one. Have a good one, guys.
Go to my link page, visit my sites, click on my TikTok, watch them all night. Ooh, go to my link page, visit my store, see what you like there, come back for more. Yeah, crew necks and tank tops, short sleeves and long. Buy a nice hoodie, you can't go wrong. Logos and colors, for all shapes and size, and all at a good price. Would I tell you lies? Ha!